Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor, Ethico.
In the intricate world of ethics and compliance, each second is precious, and slow case closures are more than just delays, they're missed opportunities. Enter Ethico. Our solution revolutionizes case management, cutting case closure times in half and turning every challenge into a chance for improvement. Imagine a workspace where efficiency and compliance coexist harmoniously. Don't just dream of faster resolutions, make it your reality. Visit ethico.com/CPN today to book a demo and dive into our exclusive white paper by Tom Fox, 2023, The Year in Compliance. Empower your team with the tools they deserve.
The Daily Compliance News for January 18, 2024, the Ditch the Polish edition. And we begin with that story from Financial Times, which asks the question, when should CEOs ditch the PR polish and when should they talk straight? Well, you might think that talking straight and transparency is the way to go, but of course, that's not what PR folks will tell you. Embracing candidness can cause trouble. Of course, going the other way in the Enron approach, saying everything is fine, can be legally questionable. So it's a difficult balancing act, but this article says that sometimes you really do need to be transparent and ditch the PR polish. Next up from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Richard Vandefort reporting that Matthew Axelrod, Assistant Secretary for Export Enforcement at the Department of Commerce, has said businesses should expect much higher penalties for violation of export controls, the use of which has expanded from the Russian invasion of Ukraine and the coming conflict, or at least competition with China. U.S. penalties for export controls could begin to approach the size of those meted out for the FCPA, he said in an event at the New York University School of Law. He said he thinks we're on the cusp of that, and we can expect to see more big-ticketed corporate resolutions going forward. Next up, in a very interesting case in the ESG world, the Montana Supreme Court has denied an application from the state of Montana to suspend the Held decision. The Held decision was a district court decision in Montana, which found that under the Montana Constitution, which provides that its citizens will have a clean environment, the state cannot prevent greenhouse gases from being considered as part of a ESG program. And finally, from the BBC, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Mike Jeffries, is now under criminal investigation based upon the BBC expose about his abuse of male models and sexual harassment and abuse. At the opening, the Compliance Podcast Network has a new sponsor, and that sponsor is Ethico. Ethico provides compliance champions like yourself with a ethics and compliance optimization system to turn goals and guidelines into real ROI for your compliance program. To learn more, go to ethico.com/CPM. We're going to link to that in the show notes as well. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.